Hey business, we get it. You know advertising is important, but your to-do list is forever growing. What matters most are real results. So Google's smart campaigns are here to help. Just select your business goals, where you want to advertise, and smart campaigns will keep on learning to make your results better and better. Say you set your sights on more calls. Smart campaigns will show your ad when people are searching for a business like yours and let them call straight from your ad. Or maybe you don't sell online. Advertising locally will direct people straight to your store, helping you reach the right customers. Google's technology makes it easier than ever. So what used to take up too much of your time can be done in minutes, like analyzing thousands of data points or dynamically optimizing your keywords. More features, simpler to set up, everyone can do it. After all, a campaign should work for you, not give you work. Want in? It's available now. Launch your new smart campaign in no time so you can get back to what you do best, running your business. Click the button to get started today.
All right, a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today. From all of us from Mahir Digital bersama Google, we hope that you are staying safe and staying healthy. So my name is Rubini and I am one of the trainers for Mahir Digital bersama Google. However, this morning I will be moderating this session, and together with me I have Jin, who will be our trainer today. They will be taking us through the Google Ads training. Hi, Jin.
Hi, Rubini. Hi, everyone.
And together with me also, I have Ronald T, who is the director and owner of Meraki Kitchen. Ronald, want to say hello to everyone?
Hello, hi everybody. Hi,
All
Jin.
right,
Hi,
so
Rubini.
So before we get started, let us get to know Ronald a little bit better. So I'm just going to read to you his profile a little bit. So Ronald is actually the director and owner of Meraki Kitchen that he started. I think he mentioned that end of 2016. Where their main focus is on preparing and delivering healthy food that is based in Klang Valley. And Meraki Kitchen gained its popularity for their delicious, healthy rice bowls. So be sure to check them out. And it comes packed with loads of veggie and protein. Am I right, Ronald?
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Okay, so before we get into learning and going through today's virtual session, we'll just like to hear from you a little bit, Ronald. We know that it has been an challenging time for most entrepreneurs out there, most business owners out there, and a lot of them are making a lot of changes to the products that they offer, to the services that they offer, the way they communicate, processes that were in place in order for them to continue to stay relevant. So, as a business owner, is there, can you share with us a little bit of your challenges throughout this MCO?
That's a very good question, Rubini. Some of the challenges that we have faced, of course, is our supply chain was disrupted. So we also had to work within our means with whatever supplies we had. Apart from this, we also had to encourage people to understand that we were following the right SOPs, and also that it's better to order in rather than to go out and buy ingredients and take the risk.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Ronald. I mean, we would be, asking Ronald and hearing from Ronald a lot more throughout today's session. So stay tuned right till the end, where we will be having a coffee chat with Ronald. So until then, let us get into a few ground rules and just to share with you where we're coming from. So Mahir Digital bersama Google, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with this program, this is a Grow with Google program that was actually created to help increase economic or grow economic opportunities for Malaysians, especially for those who are looking to use these skills to grow their business or to even look for a new job. Okay, so just to let you know that today's session will be recorded, and this is a digital session, and whatever that is shared here is strictly confidential. So we hope that you can respect that and only use information shared here for your business purposes. So we really urge you, please do not take any screenshots of what you'll be seeing on screen throughout this live stream today, and please do not share them on any of your social media pages. Okay, so at the end of this session, what we would need from you is to submit your feedback form. So we would really like to hear from you. What did you find most useful from today's session, and what can we do better? And after you have done that, we would be giving you, access to a downloadable link for the handbook that you will get from today's session. So in that handbook, you will have all the key learnings throughout that we would be sharing with you throughout today's live stream. So please don't worry about taking notes or anything like that. Just pay attention and give your full attention to all the wonderful learning that you're going to get from today's session, and you will be getting the handbook at the end after you have submitted your feedback form to us. Okay, so I know that this is a digital session, it's live stream. However, we still would like you to participate and be with us throughout, keep it engaging throughout the whole live stream. So how you can do that is by actually heading on to sli.do.com. We'll be using sli.do.com. It is a really wonderful tool because you don't have to sign up for it. You don't have to key in any login details. Just need to go on to slido.com and key in today's event code, which is hashtag C547. And you can join us throughout the session by, number one, asking us any questions that you may have throughout the session. So you can do that by just clicking on the Ask button that you will see once you have logged on to slido.com with the event code. So just key in your question. And we encourage that you keep this Slido on throughout the session, because as and when we are going through the live stream, if you do have any questions, you can key them in, and somebody from our team will be getting back to you with all the answers that you may have. Okay, doubts that you may have. And we also encourage you to take part in all our polls that we would be periodically having throughout today's session. So remember, you can actually log on to Slido with any of your devices, whether it's your mobile phone, your laptop, or your tablet. So we really hope that you can get on to slido.com and interact with us throughout today's session. Okay, so let us do a quick pulse check to see whether Slido is working. You're all following us and you know how to use it. So let me just ask you, when was your last search on Google? When was the last time that you went on to Google and looked for something? So let us know on slido.com. Key in your event code for today, which is hashtag C547. So we'll be waiting for your response. Let us know when was the last time that you went on Google search. Okay, so while waiting for your answers to actually come in, let's ask Jin and Ronald. So when was the last time that you guys went on Google search? Let's maybe start with Jin first.
Hey, Rubini, thanks. The last I actually did a Google search was during the conversation that we were having now. So sorry, something came to my mind. I just put, and then went a search. So guilty as charged. Ron, what about you?
I would probably have to say within the last hour as well. I was just searching up for some delivery locations of how to get there the fastest way.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay, so looks like we all go to Google search as soon as we have something that, that's playing in our head and we need answers to quickly. Same thing for me, actually, just before we started the live stream today, I was actually thinking, what am I going to have for lunch today? I just needed some inspiration, and I'm also guilty of actually going on Google search in the last half an hour. So let us head on to Slido. Let's see the polling results that we are getting. Let's see what are you guys saying. Okay, thank you so much. I see that we have quite a bit of response that have come in. So majority of you, about 73% of you, are just like all of us here, where you actually went on Google to search for something in less than an hour ago, and some of you in the last hour to the last 24 hours. Okay, so this really tells us that most of us go on Google search to get answers quickly. All right, so without wasting much time, let us get into today's learning. So I'm going to pass it on to Jin. Over to you, Jin.
Thank you so much, Rubini. So, good morning, everybody. My name is Jin, and I am a trainer with the Mahir Digital Bersama Google program. So, we all know that the whole MCO, RMCO situation has brought a really difficult time to all businesses, and we are here to help, right? So, we have actually gathered some useful resources in order to help you get started with Google Ads, and hopefully that you'll be able to help your business navigate through these challenging times as well. Okay, so in today's session, we will not be focusing on why your business should be on search. Clearly, from the poll just now, 73% of us actually go to Google to search for things almost at any point of time. So it just shows that your business should be on Google search. So instead, today we will be focusing on how you can increase your business presence on search. So there will be 5 parts of today's presentation. So first thing is we will look into the difference between organic search and search ads, and the value of search ads, how it can actually bring to your business. So next, we will actually learn how we can actually create a smart campaign on Google, and then we'll actually go through the steps on building the search from picking the right keywords to creating the great ad. And at the end, all things needs to be measured and tracked. So we also will be sharing with you how you can measure the performance of your search campaign at the end. So often, that people go onto Google, the thing that people want to know is, the things that we want to find out about, or what do you want to buy, or make a decision on where to go, like what Ronald was sharing about delivery locations and how to do things. So Google search is always the first stop that people do. And Smart Campaigns, actually, it's the default campaign for brand new advertisers on Google Ads. So if you have never run any ads prior to this, go and you register for a new account today, you will be actually on the Smart Campaign process. So the Smart Campaign is a goal-based campaign type in Google Ads. And Google has actually taken the innovations and technology of their ads and tailor it to make the experience much more simple. And businesses with that can create ads in minutes and drive results that they care about most, like phone calls, taking an action on your website, or maybe even visiting their store. Okay, so let's go into an example to see that. Imagine for today, all of us are florists. Okay, and at any given moment, someone somewhere out there will be using Google search to find out about our businesses because they need flowers. Okay, so how does that happen? What they do is they will actually go into Google and make a search query. So like in this case, it's that 24-hour flower delivery. Oh no, it shows that someone needs flowers really, really urgent, and our florist actually offers the solution. So the question is, how can we match the two? The customer who wants flowers and our business who wants to showcase our flowers to them. So what happens over here is that it brings the user to a search result. So on the search result, you will typically see the first thing, which would be the organic search results. And on top of that, you will have the paid search, search results, which in this case, there will always be a little AD box next to it to show that this is an ad. Then you'll be wondering, since my things appear on organically already, why do I even need search? What's the point? Well, the thing is that they help businesses like yours, or in this case, the florist, stand out because it puts it right at the top of things and shows and gets noticed by people who are searching actively. So in this case, your business can actually help them solve their wants or needs with some speedy flower delivery in this case. So your ad connects them to your shop. You are happy, they are happy, and your business saves the day. So that talks about why search ads are important. And next, it will come to a sli.do session, which I'll be passing this over to Rubini. Rubini, back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Jean. All right. So I hope you get the gist of it on why Google Ads is so important. So let us hear from you with our next Slido question. Is Google Smart Campaign the right solution for you and for your business, right? So let us know what you think, what resonates the most with you on our slido.com with the event code hashtag C547. So we'd like to hear from you what resonates most for you and your business. Okay, so while waiting for the answers to come in, Ronald, maybe you can let us know, have you used Google Smart Campaigns before, and do you find that this is the right solution for your business?
Thank you, Rubini. Yes, we have definitely used this Google Ads before, and I think it's right for it's exactly like when we want to find a target market, we key it in and it's perfect. Yeah, so we usually can get the right target audience with Google Ads.
Mm-hmm. So you think that it really helps you to kind of get the right target audience that you are looking for.
Yes, that is correct.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Rona, for sharing. Let us head over to the Slido poll results. Let's see what our viewers are saying today. So answers are still coming in, but based on what we see on screen right now, so most of you want your business to be there at the exact moment when someone is looking for the kind of business or product that you offer, right? I mean, there's so much competition out there. So it is really important at that micro moment when someone is thinking about what you offer, you appear on your ads actually appear. All right, thank you so much for sharing. And if you actually selected any one of it, it really shows that Google Smart Campaign resonates with you and you will benefit from using it. Okay, so over to you, Jin.
Thanks so much, Rubini. So before the Slido session, we talked about why search ads and how search ads can actually help you. So next, we'll be talking about how we can actually create a smart campaign. And in order to create a smart campaign, the first thing that you will need is going to be a Google Ad account. All right. So let's just move on to the next slide by showing how the process gets started. Now, before we go in this further, I know this may appear new to some of you on screen joining us live today. So we actually have a handbook prepared for you that we'll be sending out to you at the end of the session once you've completed the feedback form. So if these things are new to you, just stay with us. Don't feel nervous or anything, and we will just walk you through the process so that you know what you can expect coming on, right? And if there's any questions, feel free to use the Slido chat where you can actually type in questions, and our team will be responding to your questions over there. Okay, so coming back over here, step one, you need to go to Google Ads, and how you do that is by going to ads.google.com. And once you're on this page, you just have to click Get Started, which will bring you to the next page. Now, because we call these smart campaigns, all right, so you have to tell Google as what you are trying to do. Now, the thing over here is that on screen, you can see that there are actually 3 goals over here. And the key over here is you have to make sure that you select 1 goal per campaign. And the choice is going to be important because Google Ads uses it as a basis to help you optimize your campaigns to help you succeed as well. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about what are these goals. So over here, the goals that you have, either A, you want to drive more website visits. B, you want to get more calls, or C, you want to increase store visits as people coming to your physical store, right? So the key, again, one campaign, 1 goal. If you ever want to get 2 different results, like get more calls and get more store visits, do create 2 separate campaigns in this case, because it actually helps the optimization from Google. Okay, so remember 1 goal for 1 campaign. Okay, coming to the next slide. So say, for example, if you selected get more calls, so your smart campaign will actually be optimized to encourage potential customers to call you by adding a prominent call button on your ad. So what happens is when the customer actually clicks the call button, they will be connected directly to your business phone number in this case. All right. So having said that, we have another Slido session. So come, Rubini, back to you.
Right. Thank you so much, Jean. Okay, so we have learned from Jean that remember, one campaign, one goal. I've already written that down. Okay, so which goal fits your business goal best? Let us know on slido.com with the event code #C547. Let us know which goal fits your business goals the best. Okay, is it get more website sales or signups, or is it get more calls or get more visits to your physical store? Okay, so Ronald, so we were talking about business goals. So how have you actually set this up for your business? I mean, like, have you done multiple business goals and had multiple ads, I mean, campaigns set up?
I don't think we've ever had multiple ads set up at one go.
Okay.
Which is something we would definitely try now moving forward. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So which one fits your business goals the most?
I
Which
would
one you
probably
can
say
balance
get
it?
more visits to my websites and signups. That would probably be
Okay.
the best one.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you so much, Ronald. Okay, let us move to the polling results. Let's see what our viewers are saying today. We still have answers coming in. However, what we see right now is majority of you want to get more website sales or sign-ups, okay, similar to what Ronald wants. So, of course, this will really depend on what do you want to get out of the ads that you are actually setting up. Okay, so over to you, Jin.
Okay, thanks, Rubini. All right, so coming over here is we have created our account, we have created a goal. So the next step over here is going to be you need to enter your business website. So what happens over here is that the system will actually go through your websites to understand the nature of your business, to find out what industry you're in, what product you're doing, what are you selling, and so forth. Now, why is that actually important is because this is actually going to be very much related to the keywords that will come slightly later over here. All right. So, but what's more important is that because the system will actually show you how your actual URL will be shown to the users when you click on your mobile. And the last thing that you want is to send people to the wrong place after clicking your ad. That will be a very painful experience. Right. So coming to the next part over here is going to be talking about the keywords, which I was sharing a little bit earlier. Rubini, if you mind moving to the next slide. Cool, thank you. So in this case over here is that what happens to Google? So they will actually give you a list of keywords inside here that would best match your business and your ads. So let's say someone actually types a search query into the Google search box, the result shows. So the keywords actually give you a chance to let your ads be shown as part of those answers. So the key over here is just to think about is that your keyword is the trigger for your ads to appear. Like in this case, birthday flowers. If they search into it, then your ad actually may come up for such reasons as well. Okay, coming on to the next slide. So based on the information that Google has actually gotten from your system, they will actually give you a recommendation of keywords over here that would best fit your business. Now, you can choose to use the keywords provided, or you can actually type in the keywords that you feel is more relevant to your business. But as a rule of thumb, we will always be thinking about, we will always recommend you to put anywhere between 7 and 10 keywords, and that's about it. Don't go too much because then it's going to be very much hard for you to even do the optimizations. And a little tip over here is that when you are selecting your keywords, always think from the perspective of how your customers will search. Okay, because again, search ads are very much intentional based. You want to match your customers' behaviors in order to get the relevant keywords up as well. Okay, hope that clarifies. And on the next part is that, well, if you may be thinking, I don't know what my people are searching for actually. Well, Google Trends is here to help you out, right? So if you're not familiar with Google Trends, you can actually join our other training session called Stay Connected with Your Customers and Employees, where we'll be actually going through talking about Google Trends to see how it can help you find these search intentions from your audiences as well. Okay. So now that we have already gotten our keywords, we have already gotten our ads, our website. So the next thing is you need to create the message for your advertisement. So Google Smart Campaign in this case actually breaks down the ad into multiple sections over here. So as you can see, headline one, we have wallflowers in this case. So headline one field is the first thing that people will see on your ads. So naturally, you want to focus on writing the best headlines possible, since this has the most potential to make a big difference in your ad performance. And you want to highlight what's best about your business, your product, your service, and so forth. Headline 2 in this case is actually separated by a dash from headline 1, right? So, and what you want to do over here is that to show value or show the benefits and needs that it will bring to your customer, to your potential customer. Okay, so you can actually highlight benefits like, say, for example, if you do free shipping, or if there are just so many different websites out there and you want to say that you are the official site for this case, right? Now, coming over here, you have the next thing is going to be the description fields. So description fields over here is you can actually use this space to tell people more about your business. So why should they even come to you in this case? So like similar to what we mentioned about the goal, over here in this case, you also want to focus one message, right? Focus on the one thing that you want to say. And if there are other things about the business that you want to highlight, just create another ad in this case to talk about it, because people come with one problem or one desire in mind. So your ad should actually answer that. And as the rule always applies, try to keep things as simple as possible. All right, moving on to the next. So here are some best practices in writing successful text ads. First thing is highlight what makes you unique. All right, whether do you offer free shipping? Do you have a good variety of things? Tell people about it. Next, include price, promotions, and exclusiveness. Right? People often use Google search to make decisions about things, and give them what they need to decide on. So like, for example, if you have a limited time discount, or if you're having a product that's only available for fixed amount period of time, make sure you say it. Next, empower customers to take action. Are you selling something? Are you offering a service? Tell people about it. Have call to actions, like in this case, purchase, call you today, make an order, browse your site, and etc. People, sometimes with instruction like this, it actually helps people to take the next action, right? And of course, include a keyword, at least one of the keywords that you have. So keywords in your ad text shows the relevance towards what people want. So for example, if you're selling digital cameras, make sure you mention digital cameras in your ads as well, so that I want digital camera. Oh, the ad says digital camera as well. There's a match over here, right? And next thing is make sure that you match your ad to your landing page as well, right? So have a look at the page that you're linking the ad to, because sometimes you may be bringing them to specific sections in your ad, in your page itself. So if people go from the ad to the page, but they have to dig around to go and find the information that they're actually looking for, it creates a negative user experience, right? And the last tip over here is that appeal to customers on mobile. So consider creating ads, that devotes to people on mobile, and using the mobile version of your website on the landing page as well. And also offer specials that keep in mind that your website has to be mobile friendly, because people ultimately do a lot of things using mobile first these days. Okay, and most importantly, please test your website and just make sure that you're sending people to the right place. All right, so moving on to the next slide. So over here, you can see that we actually make sure to include keywords that we've selected earlier in our message, and also a call to action like shop or design to encourage users who see the ad to click on the ad. So like in the first example over here, we are actually highlighting the promotion itself. Save 20% off today. In the second example, we actually have, we highlight that we do same-day delivery or even free delivery as well. So remember the points that we highlighted earlier on about what are some good practices, call to actions, what makes you special, say it. Okay. So coming down to the next, coming down, we have a Slido session. So Rubini, I'll pass it back to you.
Right. Thank you so much, Jin. I mean, I hope that you are enjoying the session. Okay, so let us hear from you. What do you think? What you see on screen, right? Would you click on this ad? Let us know on sli.do.com. And don't forget to key in the event code today, which is hashtag C547. And take a look at the ad that you see on your screen and let us know, would you click on an ad that appears to be like this? Yes or a no? So head on to Slido, let us know. We're waiting for your answers. Okay, let us take a look at what the viewers have to say. So answers are still coming in. And most of you say no, that you would not click on this ad. And there are a few of you who says yes. Okay, so for those of you who said no, well, I will let Jin explain to you a little bit more on why is this not a good ad to click on. So over to you, Jin.
Thank you so much, Rubini. So here's the thing about that Slido question. It was actually a little bit of a trick question. Now, one thing that we always like to emphasize about ads in this case is that we want to make sure that our ads appear high quality and it also looks professional and meets the editorial standards. So in this case, actually, you always want to make sure that the words that you use has no extra spacing. It has very strange capitalizations like normal, 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 cap, normal, normal, cap, cap, normal, normal, and of course, unclear URLs to just name a few. Now, the thing is that we actually have a very mixed answers over in the post there, which shows also one thing. A lot of times our mind wants to read what we want to read, but here's also the flip side to the thing is that because these are things that these ads actually appear officially on the Google search. So if you look weird, it actually may create you may actually lose out quite a big chunk of your customers in this case. So the takeaway from here is that always try to appear as professional and have your ads having good grammar and so forth to make it pleasant for people, right? Okay, so we've talked about the ad message that you have. So the next important thing is going to be about selecting the right location for your ads to show. Now, in this case, for example, if your business actually is able to deliver your products or your services throughout the whole Malaysia, then it's okay for you to actually just search, just put in your location as Malaysia. But if you want to reach potential customers near your flower shop, like in this case, since we're all florists, you may want to narrow your services to your city or maybe your region. So here's the thing though. Once these things are set, they're not set in stone. So you actually can always come back to your settings and change it later if you find that it's not really working or if it's working really good for your ad as well. All right. So next thing is going to be about budget. Now, when it comes to setting up the budget, there are two options over here. Option one is that you can actually let the system do the recommendation for you, or you can actually set your own budget in this case. Now, when you're using when you create a smart campaign in this case, we will recommend the budget based on the average click volume of your business type and your location. Okay. However, you can always, like we mentioned, you can always set your own budget simply because you can actually figure out what is your average your monthly ad budget in this case, and you can just divide it based on the number of days that you want your ads to be actively running, and you will get your daily budget in this case. Now, the good news over here is that you never pay more than the monthly cap that you set. Meaning to say, and the better thing is that you can adjust or pause the campaign at any point of time. Plus, what's nice about the smart campaigns is that it actually shows you the estimated results that you may get from this budget that you share. Okay, so just a recap of things. Number one, you can either use the system's recommendation or you can actually do your own. And remember that in terms of these budgets, you can actually choose whether you want to increase it based on the results that you see, or you want to pause the campaign, is perfectly fine. Now, the good thing about it is because you will only pay for the clicks or calls that come from your campaign. Okay, so this is very much result driven. And the total amount that you spend won't exceed the monthly budget that you set for it as well. So, but just some things that you want to know is that the click price, or in this case, the cost per click of someone who see your ad and actually take an action on it, it's dynamic, means it actually changes from time to time. Simply because number one, it looks into the how competitive your the keywords that you chose are, how relevant your ad is towards the people doing the search, and how likely is that it will result in a sale or an action in this case, right? But those are system optimizations. Just remember, budget, you can set it or you can follow the system, and you have the option to choose when you want your campaigns to run or pause in this case. Okay, now you've done setup, you've done your locations, you've done your ad, you've done your budgeting. Last thing to do is make sure that you review your campaigns properly. Now, don't worry if any changes will be that you want to do to your campaign cannot be done after your ads go live. The thing is that you can always go back to your smart campaign in your ads account to make the changes as and when you see necessary. Okay, so of course, if you're new to Google Ads and this is the first time you're creating it, you'll be brought towards the billing section where you just have to put in your billing information so that you'll be able to make the necessary payments to Google for your ads. Right, next, now, talking about number one, we know why we want to create ads. We talked about how to create your ads. The next thing is that's very important is you have to track your goals. So imagine us being the florist again. Our goal is to make sure that we get 100 bouquets sold using the smart campaign. So in order for us to reach this goal, clearly we have to track how things are working, right? So let's see on the next slide, what are the things that we can actually track in this case. So one thing that is very important also is that if you're tracking your sales on your website, you can actually link your Google ad account to your Google Analytics by clicking on the Learn More in the dashboard section, and it will guide you through the process on how that can be done. So if you have never set up the Google Analytics for your website before, well, we do have a session here called Get Started with Google Analytics. So that's where you can actually learn how to set up analytics for your website. We have a session like that as well. So important, we need to track our goals to know what is it that is going to be available for tracking, and you can use Google Analytics. So in this case is that we talked about reviewing your performance. You launch your ads, launch your campaign, and start tracking. So what's next? So knowing that what are the numbers that we see inside the ad account actually is going to be very much important in order to make sure that we can reach the goals that we talked about. Like in the previous case, it was getting 100 bouquet sales, right? So we talked about importance of tracking. So let's just go and see how does that happen. So if you go to the next slide. So inside the dashboard, what you do is that you just have to select the ad that you want to review and just click on details, and it will bring you over to a page that looks like this. Now again, let me just re-emphasize is that I know a lot of things we shared inside here may look very foreign to you. Rest assured, inside the handout that we'll be giving you at the end of the session, it will contain the information and also links to where these things can be done so that you can replicate the process and set up the smart campaigns for your businesses too. All right. So coming back on here, when we talk about reviewing your campaign, it's always very important for us to make sure that our date range selected is correct. Because if you actually select the wrong period of time, you'll be actually looking at very weird results. All right. So inside this dashboard, you can actually find the number of impressions and also actions that people have taken on your ads. Okay. So a few terminologies to just explain to you. Impression in this case, it just shows that how often has this version of your ad been showed up. Okay, so means how many times this ad has been shown out to people. Number two, clicks. So how often people have actually clicked onto this particular ad that you have created. in this case, because we can select the option of call clicks. In this case, that we actually want people to call our business. So this shows that the number of times potential customers actually pressed onto the call button from the ad to be contacted. Okay. Here's a very, very important point that we want to mention. A successful campaign created, right, doesn't end with the setup. Okay, so you need to monitor how it performs and make adjustments accordingly all the time, right? Then the next question that you may be wondering, so how often should I check it? The recommendation in this case is you can check it every week or at least once every 2 weeks. Because every time you make a change, the system will take some time to learn the changes that you've made and showcase it to the right towards the right audience. So so the thing is, always remember the success of your campaign does not end with the setup. Make sure that you look into your results, review it, and make necessary changes from time to time. All right. This information on how it can be done is also available in the handbook. So you're in good hands. So coming over here is that the key takeaway from this sharing session is that number one, know that potential customers are out there right now looking for the products and services that you offer. So it's going to be really great to appear at the right place at the right time when the customers actually need you the most. So the next thing is that smart campaigns actually help you reach the right people at the right moment. And marketing, in the end of the day, right, it's really about getting the right message across to the right people at the right time. So really a lot of efforts will need to be put into finding the keywords where that's going to be the trigger to get people to have your ads shown, and also relevant and a compelling message to make sure that when they search for like in this case 24 hours flower delivery, your ads actually appear right there. And most importantly, review. Continuously review your campaign's ad performance just to make sure that you're on the right track with things and you can make the correct changes accordingly at any one point of time. So the thing is that today's sharing about Google, about the smart campaign, it can be a little bit on the short, all right? And understand that we all sometimes say that, give me more, right? So in this case, on the next slide, we actually have a very nice link for a nice platform for you to actually continue your learning about creating better search campaigns called Skillshop. So Skillshop is actually an online training platform with e-learning courses designed by Google product experts to help you get better at Google search ads and more, right? So you just have to go to g.co/Skillshop and you can learn at your own pace and even get certifications at no charge. Okay, so of course, other useful resources that we have, we like to highlight to you is that you can always refer back to our Grow with Google website for more information about the tools that we covered today, as well as additional resources that you may find useful for you. Another thing that we have over here is what we call the Thing with Google, where we will always share the latest insights, trends, and best practices to help you navigate through these times of uncertainty. And of course, we live in an era of mobile today. So I will highly encourage everyone also to continue your learning journey with our online app called Google Primer, where it offers quick, easy to understand lessons to help business owners and individuals grow skills and also reach your goals. So the Google Primer app is available both on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. So you just have to search for Mahir Digital or Google Primer to find the relevant lessons and also see how you can actually bring your business from offline to online as well, right? So remember these resources. And of course, if you have not done this already, I will highly encourage you to also follow us on Facebook at Mahir Digital Bersama Google to get the latest business insights. And also, if you want to know what are our upcoming workshops, this is where you want to go at. All right. So that's going to be the sharing of me today. And we all want to learn from real life entrepreneurs. So I hope you have your coffee ready, because after this, we'll be having the coffee talk session with our special guest, Ronald. So Rubini, Ronald, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Jean. I think I have learned a lot, and I am And I think the key thing there, like what Jin has said, is creating a Google ad is not enough, but you've got to review it regularly and, monitor your results to see that it's meeting your business goal. Am I right, Jin?
Precisely. Always about
Yeah,
review.
okay. Yes, okay, thank you, Jin. Okay, so we've come to the final part of today's session, which is Coffee with Ronald. So, I'm so excited to learn from a real entrepreneur like Ronald. Okay, so maybe before we get into difficult questions, maybe Ronald, you want to share with us a little bit on what inspired you to start Meraki Kitchen? How did this journey begin?
Thank you, Rubini. This journey began because when we first started, there weren't many healthy food options, and food delivery was not a common thing. So when we first started, what we did is we saw that food, if you want to eat healthy, everything was too expensive. So we decided to come up with a business that serves healthy food at an affordable price, so people understand that healthy food doesn't always have to be expensive. Yes.
Okay, all
That's
right.
what made us start.
Yeah, excellent. Even for me personally, I am a big fan of healthy food, and it's so nice to see that this market for healthy food is growing. So the more competition we have in this healthy food industry, the better for consumers like me. Okay, so maybe you can share with us a little bit on what are some of the things that you are doing to kind of stay ahead of your competitors?
Some of the things that we do to stay ahead, apart from keeping ourselves like really updated with all the new things that come up, like new online platforms, we also always try to bring like a different kind of ingredient or a different kind of dish. Uh, from what we see, a lot of dishes becomes like popular and then least popular. So we try to go with the food trend, and then we try to constantly serve exciting dishes to our customers. That's how we stay ahead. And of course,
Okay.
not to mention affordable price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Rona. Okay. So, thank you for inspiring us and, continuing to strive to produce good quality, healthy food for us consumers and also keeping it at a reasonable price. Now, we'd like to hear a little bit more insights, right? We know that you shared with us a little bit of challenges that you have gone through during the MCO period. We also would like to hear from you. The other important thing that a lot of business gurus out there tell us is that we have to continue to stay engaged and continue to add value to our existing customers. So maybe you would like to share with us during that very unprecedented time. What did you guys do to continue to stay connected with your consumers and also continue to add value to them?
For us to add value to them is when this MCO first started, it was during like a part of a Puasa month as well. So we only used to do lunch. So we had to change up our business to be able to provide them with dinner as well. So we served them meals during lunch, but we made it reheatable for dinner time. And we also came up with a lot of promotions to encourage them to not go out and to eat with their family. So we did like a buy three free one, so the whole family can get in together and eat. Yep. So these are the little things that we've done to help give more value to our customers.
Okay, yeah. I think that those are very important things because we are all in this together, both the business owners and also the consumers at the buying end, right? So it is really very nice to hear that you came up with promotions so that you can continue to provide healthy and prepared safely so that your consumers can continue to enjoy them at an affordable price. Okay, so probably that's a tip for you guys out there as well. That no matter what we do, no matter how difficult things get, we need to make sure that we continue to add value to the customers that we serve. So, some tips and examples that Ronald has shared with us. Okay, so for my next question that I have for you, right, is now that we know that we are coming out of this MCO period, most businesses have already started to operate as usual. And what are some of your strategies coming out of this MCO?
One of our main strategies coming out of this MCO is that we shifted our focus instead of like individual customers. We shifted our focus to corporate orders. So this is one of the things that we've been running on like Google Ads to help attract corporate orders. And what we've been pitching to these big companies is that it's safer for them to provide lunch for all their employees rather than for each one of them to go out and then increase the risk of being out there. So the company would order from us and we provide them lunch and they can eat inside rather than take any risk. That's our the main thing we're doing now. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Maybe getting on to new platforms
Yes,
or anything
definitely
like that?
getting onto new platforms. We've been trying to get onto all these kind of like Food Panda, Grab Food, and there's a lot of other platforms out there that are similar to this but not as popular. So I think it's good to get onto them while it's early, so you get it at a better price, and also that when it gets popular later on, you would have already been on for a while. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Ronald. I mean, I really like that you shared that, when you're trying to actually, reach a new customer base, which you mentioned, the corporate clients, right, from individuals to corporate, you highlighted to them a problem that they might have, which is, risking their employees going out to various different locations and then coming back into the office. So you have a solution for them. So I think these are the kind of things entrepreneurs out there need to do whenever we want to set a new ad or do something. It should be something valuable and trying to solve a problem or putting ourselves in our customers' shoes so that we can actually provide solutions that are logical, workable, and people will really appreciate things like that from a business like yours. So excellent, Ronald. I mean, we're so happy to hear that you are moving the right direction and really continuing to add value to the new customer base that you guys are into now. Okay, so you mentioned that you are using Google Ads, right, to actually get this new customer. So share a little bit with us, because I'm sure a lot of the listeners that are tuning in today to our live stream are probably intimidated with how complex Google Ads is. It's difficult to use. It's expensive. So can you clear that out a little bit for us?
Okay. I would say it's not expensive because it's according to whatever budget you want. So if your budget is high, then it's going to be expensive. If your budget is low, then it's fine. And then for us, I would say it's easy to use because even when we had like problems with our website, we still got inquiries straight to our email. So it's so easy that if you have a website, it'll be even smoother. Your dropout rate of the new customers coming in will be a lot lower. So overall, I would say it's easy to use and it is affordable as well.
All right. Okay. So have you seen significant impact and maybe you want to share how have you been monitoring or changing some of the things or strategies along the way with your Google Ads?
Some of the strategies we probably try to get our, let's say, dropout rate of the customers lower. So from Google Ads, we see that when our website was down, it took them too many steps to reach us. They had to email us, and then from there we had to get back to them. So we found out that it's important for us to smoothen this out. So it'll be less steps. As soon as they click on the ad, they'll find us and they can place an order directly or inquire directly.
Okay, excellent. I mean, I think I remember that from what Jin has also shared, that it's very important to ensure that when people click on your ad, they go right to the page that you want them to go to, right, Jin?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So I mean, I guess there's a lot of learning today, and Ronald has actually, testified for us that using Google Ads is great, and it's a great tool that is flexible as well. So it is, any time that you feel you can actually monitor what's happening with your Google Ads, so that you can make necessary changes that will, continue to align with the goals that you have set. Okay. So. The other question that I would have for you is, there are still a lot of struggling entrepreneurs out there who are still looking for inspiration and still looking for the right thing for them to do so that they can, pivot their business right now. So what would be some of your, most crucial tips that you like to give to our entrepreneurs who are listening out there now?
Some of the most crucial tips is any business needs in this day of age, you need to be flexible and adaptable. And probably one of the most important things is that if you're not sure whether it's going to work out and it's going to be a risk, I would suggest to take it, because you truly don't know unless you try. Yeah. So just try as many things as you can until you find the right thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the biggest takeaway that Ronald has told us, or the biggest tip for all of you, is do not be afraid to take risks and keep trying your new ideas that you may have to improve your business, because if you do not try it, you never know, right, whether it works or not. And important to be flexible. So, okay, thank you so much, Ronald. I think it has been a very insightful session. Thank you for your honest sharing, and we can hear that you are very busy preparing for lunch right now. Okay,
So sorry about that.
no worries. I mean, I think this is the true nature of being in that F&B business. So thank you so much, Ronald, for joining us today, and Jean, also thank you so much for the very insightful session that you have shared. So before you guys leave, we need a few things from you. The first thing is to complete the feedback form that you see on the screen right now. So you can give us your feedback by actually scanning on the QR code that you see on the screen right now, or you can actually key in the link that is there, which is bit.ly/Mahir Digital Virtual, and let us know how did you feel about the session that we conducted today? What did you like most? What you didn't really like so much? Or what can we do better so that we can come up with better quality programs for you guys? So let us know. Once you've done that, you will be getting a downloadable link to the handbook with all the tips and notes that we have shared with you this morning. So I'm going to just leave this on for a while so that you can, actually scan the code and give us your feedback. Okay, so with that, we'd like to say thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we wish you a pleasant day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.